Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about Lewis Hamilton, who has spoken about speculation on Ferrari team boss Frederic Vasseurs' future, as well as Max Verstappen, who got into a heated exchange with a reporter. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description. But let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Hamilton, who has hit out at nonsense speculation about Vasseurs' future at Ferrari. Now, as we know, this is Vasseurs' third year with the team, but 2025 has been a bit of a letdown. As we know, at the end of 2024, Ferrari took the Constructors' battle to the last race and finished a close second. And going into 2025, Ferrari made a lot of changes on the car as they looked to push for the title. But the team have had a lot of disappointing results in 2025 and currently sit 197 points behind leaders McLaren. And Sky F1 say that reports in prominent sections of the Italian press ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix have focused on Vasseurs' position at Maranello beyond the end of this season amid the team's disappointing campaign. And asked about the reports, Hamilton said, as quoted by Sky F1, "I was just made aware of it before I got here, so I've not read the stories. It's definitely not nice to hear that there are stories that are like that out there. Firstly, I love working with Fred. Fred's the main reason I'm in this team and got the opportunity to be here, which I'm forever grateful for, and we're in this together. We're working hard in the background. Things aren't perfect, but for me, I'm here to work with the team, but also with Fred. I want Fred here. I do believe Fred is the person to take us to the top, so that's that. Ultimately, it's nonsense what people have written." Now, as I've said before, I think 2026 will be a key year for Ferrari. It's a brand new set of regulations, so a fresh opportunity to build a good car that can fight for race wins. But I think that if the team struggle in this new set of regulations, I think there could potentially be changes at the top. But let's move on to Verstappen, who was involved in a heated exchange with Sky F1's Ted Kravitz in Canada. Now, as we know, Verstappen collided with George Russell shortly after he was instructed by Red Bull to hand the position over to the Mercedes driver, following an incident earlier in the race. As we know, Russell went down the inside of Verstappen going into turn 1, but made some contact with Verstappen, and Verstappen took to the escape road and kept the position. The stewards decided that Verstappen was forced wide and did not need to hand the spot back, but Red Bull did not know this at the time, and they did order Verstappen to give the position back. And if that call had not come to Verstappen, then the whole situation with Russell could have been avoided, and Verstappen would have avoided a 10-second penalty, which dropped him down to 10th place at the end of the Grand Prix and 3 penalty points. And speaking with Verstappen on the build-up to the Canadian Grand Prix, Sky F1's Ted Kravitz noted the absence on the pit wall of Jonathan Wheatley, a long-time Red Bull employee who has since taken on the team principal role at Sauber. And Wheatley is known for his expertise on the F1 sporting regulations and was often Red Bull's go-to for official communications with the FIA. And with Wheatley leaving, Red Bull is now being guided by Head of Sporting Regulations Stephen Knowles. In the interview, Kravitz said, "Just a question about going forward, the negotiation with the steward or race director on whether places should be given back, or what. Since Jonathan Wheatley went, obviously you have Stephen Knowles who's doing that. I assume it was him who told GP, who's Verstappen's race engineer, to tell you to give the place back to George, which wasn't the right call. The stewards later confirmed that. How are you working that out with him? Obviously, he's not been in the job too long, since Jonathan's gone to Sauber. How are you working that out, that the same situation doesn't happen again?" To which Verstappen said, "I think it's not really nice to try and single out a person, because that's never the case. I think we just look at it as a team, what we can always do better. And that's also how we look at it in Barcelona. But it's not fair to now single out one single person." To which Kravitz said, "I don't think I'm singling him out. I just named who he was. Jonathan Wheatley is obviously a well-known guy. I wasn't saying it was Stephen Knowles his fault." But Verstappen said, "But you mentioned him." To which Kravitz said, "Jonathan Wheatley was a well-known guy. He was your rules guy. Now Knowles is the new guy." And Verstappen said, "So we're talking about him. You're singling him out." And Kravitz said, "Okay, but he's on the pit wall. He's a fairly well-known person." To which Verstappen said, "I do not need to discuss that here anyway. If we ever look at things that we can do better, we do that like every other team. But I'm not going to stand here in front of the camera and say who was at fault exactly." And then Kravitz said, "I wasn't asking." To which Verstappen said, "We all live and learn." And Kravitz finished, "I wasn't asking you to do that, just to be clear. I was asking you how you live and learn. Thank you. I think you answered it." But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. And until the next one, take care. Bye.